Observe a city street at rush hour. The tense faces, the hurried steps, the gazes fixed on screens. Listen to the breathless rhythm of notifications, the incessant buzzing of machines, the accelerated tick-tock of our modern lives. Our era cultivates speed as a supreme virtue, rapidity of execution, instantaneity of communications, constant acceleration of processes. We have created a civilization where waiting has become intolerable, where the space between two actions has shrunk until it disappears, where time itself seems to contract. Faster has become the invisible mantra that governs our days. Faster to produce, faster to consume, faster to live. This unbridled race has certainly brought us technological marvels and material comforts unknown to our ancestors. But at what price? Our bodies exhaust themselves, our minds agitate, our relationships crumble. In our world, speed is an idol. Clocks dictate our steps, screens steal our gazes, and we run, believing that the faster we go, the more we will live. But look at the turtle that advances peacefully under the weight of its house. It does not compete with the hare. It follows its own tempo, and it arrives. To slow down is to rediscover this natural rhythm. It is to understand that each thing has its hour. The flower opens when the sun calls it, not before. In the ancient texts of Taoism, as in the murmurs of forgotten masters, we find this same invitation. Cease agitating yourself like a butterfly caught in its own light. True clarity is not in the excitement of the instant, but in the slow decanting of being. When we run ceaselessly, it is not only our body that exhausts itself, it is our gaze that becomes blurred. We become incapable of perceiving the simplicity of the world, its naked beauty offered to those who know how to stop. The one who slows down is not a disconnected dreamer, but an attentive walker. He sees what others no longer see: the play of light on a water's surface, the deep breathing of a tree in the wind, the scent of earth after rain. He does not do less than others. He does differently. He gives back to the world a thickness that speed has rendered invisible. It is striking to note how much slowness provokes fear today. In offices, in transport, in lives, everything must go fast. Produce, profit. We have confused speed with value, precipitation with importance. But in this collective race, who takes the time to ask toward what exactly are we running? Faced with this acceleration that seems inexorable, the millennial wisdom of Taoism offers us a precious counterpoint. For Taoist masters understood more than 2 millennia ago what our frenzied world makes us forget. True power does not reside in precipitation, but in the subtle art of slowing down. Nature knows no precipitation. Seasons succeed one another according to their own immutable and perfect cadence. Winter does not attempt to become spring before its hour. The seed does not strive to become flower in a day. Each thing has its time, its own rhythm, its necessary maturation. Zhuangzi, in his parables, tells the story of a man who wanted to accelerate the growth of his plants by pulling on their stems. They died, suffocated by an impatience that ignored their own rhythm. The lesson is clear. To force the course of things is to distance oneself from the Tao. Taoism teaches us to respect these natural cycles, not only in the world around us, but also within ourselves. Our body, our spirit, our projects, our relationships all have their season, their period of active growth, and their time of rest and integration. Zhuangzi said, "The world is too full of things and men lose themselves in it. It is not so much the multitude of objects that submerge us as the dispersion of our attention. The Taoist sage does not seek to do everything. He seeks to be there fully in what he does. An action accomplished with slowness and consciousness possesses a depth that 10 precipitated gestures cannot reach. To slow down is not to withdraw from the world. It is to root oneself more deeply in it. It is to pass from the surface of things to their heart. The calligrapher's gesture, for example, is not efficient in the modern sense. It is slow, breathed, inhabited. Each stroke demands total presence, and in this stripping away, there is an intensity that nothing can imitate. But it takes courage to slow down, for slowness today is suspect. It is associated with laziness, loss, disconnection. Yet perhaps it is the opposite. The more we run, the more we flee, and the more we flee, the more we distance ourselves from ourselves. Slowness is not the enemy of progress. It is its consciousness. It demands a form of faith, faith in invisible maturation, faith in what is built without noise. When we ignore these natural rhythms, when we attempt to force perpetual flowering without allowing necessary fallow time, we create an imbalance that sooner or later will manifest through exhaustion, illness, or failure. As Lao Tzu says, if you are in a hurry, you will never arrive. In a forgotten little treatise, Master Lu Anong wrote, "The hurried man forgets that life does not respond to orders, but to invitations. Life does not open under constraint, but under gentleness. Fruit does not ripen faster because one stares at it fixedly. The river does not widen because one demands it. Everything follows a slow, secret curve that must be respected if one wants to live in harmony." To slow down is also to learn to let things come. In a world that wants to control everything, plan everything, measure everything, this seems almost heretical. But there is an intelligence in letting go, an ancient knowledge that tells us, let go and you will see clearly. The most beautiful fruit of slowness is perhaps this, gentle lucidity, a form of peaceful clarity that does not judge, does not compare, but sees with tenderness. Those who live slowly develop finer listening. They do not react, they respond. They do not rush to fill silences. They inhabit them. And in this listening to the world, there is another relationship to time. A time that is no longer linear, but living, breathing. Each instant becomes a world, each gesture an offering. When we run ceaselessly, our attention fragments. We are physically here, mentally elsewhere, emotionally scattered. This constant dissociation prevents us from fully inhabiting our life, from truly tasting our experiences, from authentically connecting to others and to the world. Taoism cultivates, on the contrary, total presence to the instant, not a forced or tense presence, but a natural opening to what is here and now. This quality of attention transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary. Suddenly, a cup of tea becomes a cosmic experience. A walk in nature reveals unsuspected marvels. A simple conversation deepens into a true encounter. Lao Tzu said, "The Tao is never hurried, yet everything is accomplished." This does not mean that nothing should be done, but that everything should be done in accordance. There are moments to act quickly, yes, but these moments are rare, and their justness comes precisely from the fact that they emerge from a long silence. We are not made to be machines. Even machines, moreover, wear out if they are never allowed to rest. Human beings need rhythm, pause, slowness, emptiness. Emptiness is not a loss. It is a space of welcome. As an empty bowl can receive water, the empty spirit can welcome the instant. The Tao does not preach total immobility any more than it rejects action in itself. It rather seeks dynamic equilibrium, the zhong, this just middle where action and rest, effort and abandonment, speed and slowness complement each other harmoniously. For there are moments when rapidity is appropriate, when urgency is real, when intensity is necessary. The Taoist sage does not lock himself into dogmatic slowness. He adapts his rhythm to circumstances as water adapts its course to the terrain it traverses. The question is therefore not to reject all forms of speed, but to develop the wisdom to discern when to accelerate and when to slow down. When our societies exclusively valorize acceleration, the simple fact of reintroducing slowness as a viable option becomes an act of resistance and wisdom. This wisdom of just rhythm allows us to avoid two pitfalls. On one hand, the frenzied exhaustion of those who run ceaselessly. On the other hand, the stagnation of those who through fear or inertia refuse all movement. Between these two extremes lies the middle way, this natural flux where times of intense action and periods of deep recovery alternate harmoniously, moments of engagement in the world and necessary retreats. The ultimate paradox of Taoist slowing down is that it does not lead us to immobilism, but to a deeper and more durable form of progression. Like the turtle in the fable who, through her tranquil constancy, finally surpasses the impetuous hare, the one who knows how to slow down often advances further than the one who precipitates himself. For slowing down allows us to discern the true path among the numerous diversions that offer themselves to us. It gives us space to align our actions with our deep values rather than constantly reacting to apparent urgencies. It offers us the possibility of cultivating quality rather than quantity in our realizations, as in our relationships. Old Lao Tzu, who traveled tranquilly on his buffalo, would doubtless smile to see our societies rediscover, after centuries of technological acceleration, this simple truth he already taught 2,500 years ago. The most direct path toward an accomplished life is not always the fastest. Sometimes one must know how to stop to see the path. Sometimes one must slow down to truly advance. To slow down is to return to the invisible hand that carries all things. It is to cease forcing the current to let oneself be carried by it, like a leaf follows the river without drowning in it. The sages of the Tao said, "He who effaces himself becomes the world." In slowing down, we strip ourselves of pretensions, impatiences, illusions of mastery. We become more porous to the breath that animates everything, this intimate and formless presence that the noise of our too full days masks from us. There exists a time that is not that of clocks, a time without urgency, without countdown, where each thing comes when it is ready and not when ordered. This time is that of heaven and earth, of the silent growth of trees, of the secret unfolding of stars. In slowing down, we relearn to listen to this cosmic breathing, to inscribe ourselves in it without violence, like a branch accepts the wind. True slowness is not inertia, it is an interior vigil, an offered attention. Do not seek to understand mysteries, said Lao Tzu. It is the same for slowness. It is not a technique or strategy, but an act of abandonment, an acquiescence to the profound rhythm of being. In this silence that follows slowing down, another intelligence awakens, not that of analysis, but that of communion. The spirit ceases to cut up, compare, calculate. It begins to see with a unified gaze, to feel with a unified heart. There, what seems separated reveals itself mysteriously linked. What appeared empty becomes full. The one who slows down enters the secret of the world. He sees that life is not to be conquered, but welcomed, that fecundity comes not from agitation, but from patience, that the sweetest fruit is that which ripens in shadow in the hollow of seasons. The Tao is like water, teaches Zhuangzi. It nourishes everything without competing. It flows effortlessly toward the lowest places. Similarly, our profound being seeks humility more than victory, receptivity more than ambition. In this gentleness, it finds its true strength. For slowness at bottom is the apprenticeship of consent, to consent to what is without forcing, without fleeing, to consent to our path as one consents to the dawn's rising, not through resignation, but through confidence. Confidence that life, left to its rhythm, accomplishes in us a work we could not fabricate. The one who knows how to slow down discovers that the world has never ceased to be luminous. It was not the world that was obscure. It was our gaze that was troubled by haste. When the interior eye recovers its limpidity, then the slightest stone, the slightest breath of wind, the most minute gesture becomes sign and offering. But this invitation to slowness demands courage, for it confronts us with ourselves. In the silence of pauses, interior voices awaken, doubts, memories, aspirations. Zhuangzi tells the story of a man who, fleeing his shadow, ran ceaselessly until he collapsed. To slow down is to dare face the shadow, not to combat it, but to welcome it. It is to sit with it as one sits with an old friend and discover that it is not enemy, but part of the whole. And in this apparent immobility, an alchemy operates. The spirit, liberated from dispersion, appeases itself. The heart, delivered from haste, opens. We begin to see what speed stole from us. Light dancing on water, a passerby's furtive smile, a tree's patience as it rises without sound. These small epiphanies are not distractions. They are reminders that the sacred is there in the ordinary, waiting to be looked at. Taoism also teaches us the humility of slowness. He who hastens stumbles, says the Tao Te Ching. Precipitation is an illusion of importance, an attempt to dominate time. But time, like the Tao, does not let itself be possessed. It offers itself to the one who welcomes it with respect, who accepts not understanding everything, not mastering everything. To slow down is to recognize that we are not masters of the world, but invited guests to dance with it in fragile harmony. The greatest treasure is not found at the end of an unbridled race, but in the hollow of the simple step, the calm breath, the pacified gaze. Thus, in the secret of the slowed step, another path opens, that of return. Not a return backward, but a return inward toward this silent place from which all things are born, where nothing is yet separated or dispersed. Return, said Lao Tzu, is the movement of the Tao. All that distances itself must one day return. All that agitates finally appeases itself. In the spiral of seasons, in the beating of days and nights, in the flux of tides, it is always this movement of return that works in secret. The one who slows down enters this profound breathing of the world. He no longer seeks to seize the instant, but to be seized by it. He no longer strives to conquer his life, but to accord himself to it, like an instrument tunes its strings to music. And then, in this consent, something forgotten resurfaces. The simple joy of existing without conditions, without merit, no longer a noisy, brilliant joy, but a gentle joy woven of silence and gratitude. To slow down is not merely to change speed. It is to change gaze. It is not to flee responsibilities, but to root our actions in deeper soil. It is not to refuse effort, but to purify the intention that carries it. The ancient sage did not content himself with teaching economy of gesture. He revealed a way of being, a manner of walking in the world with lightness, with respect, with wonder. He knew that slowness is not an end in itself, but a door toward justness, and that justness is the only path toward true fecundity. The one who slows down discovers that the world has never ceased waiting for him, that the song of wind in trees, that children's laughter, that hill's silence, that a star's brilliance in pale dawn, all this was there, patient, suspended, ready to welcome him as soon as he would cease running. Then the soul remembers. It remembers that before the race there was walking, that before ambition there was impulse, that before the project there was life, simple, offered. And in this recovered memory, it learns to no longer fear slowness, but to rest in it, like a weary traveler finally lays his head against warm earth under a limitless sky.